Welcome everyone to Wednesday night soccer action here as we have college men's soccer action as it's number 22 ranked Bowdoin College coming in with a record of 6-1-1 overall, taking on the Husson men's soccer team 7-2-2. I'm Isaac Potter alongside Avery Henningsen. As we're here at Boucher Field. We'll quickly send it over to the PA announcer Tyler Huey for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Now let's meet the starters for the Polar Bears. Number 3, Dylan Reed. Number 4, Matt Braver. Number 5, Minseo Bay. Number 6, Jack Selig. Number 7, Ben Brown. Number 8, Julian Juan Torarne. Number 10, Harry Cooper. Number 13, Carlton Steinberg. Number 21, Charlie Ward. Number 33, Tyler Huck. And in goal, number 1, Michael Weber. The Polar Bears are coached by Scott Winowski, and he's assisted by Andrew Benea and Mark Hurst. And now the starting lineup for your Husson Eagles Eagles. A sophomore from Spain, number 4, Pedro Molina. A junior from Concord, New Hampshire, number 6, Mose Masamongo. A sophomore from Spain, number 9, Mario Alvarez. A freshman from France, number 12, Eric Weinstein. A senior from Sweden, a captain, number 14, Oscar Bernson. A senior from Denham, Massachusetts, number 20, Ben Shumway. A freshman from Venezuela, number 22, Miguel Morales. A sophomore from Iceland, the Iceman, number 24, Arnie Heredison. A senior from Spain, number 26, Gerard Arias. A sophomore from Switzerland, number 30, and Florian Gasser. And in goal, a sophomore from Switzerland, number 1, Alexander Rechsteiner. The Eagles are coached by Gavin Penny, and he's assisted by Carlos Bermudez, Stephen Moreni, Alex Caballero, and Matt Goodman. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And that was the national anthem along with the starting lineups. We want to take a moment to thank today's game sponsors, Performance PT, Designing a Healthier You, Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and Bangor, Nothing Runs Like a Deer, Governor's Restaurant, and Kinsella, Giving Resources New Life. We'll quickly go through the starting lineups once again. First for Bowdoin. In goal tonight, it's going to be number 1, Michael Weber. Number 3, Dylan Reed. Number 4, Matthew Braver. Number 5, Minseo Bay. Number 6, Jack Selig. Number 7, Ben Brown. Number 8, Julian Juan Torena. Number 10, Harry Cooper. Number 13, Carlton Steinberg. Number 21, Charlie Ward. And number 35, Tyler Huck. And for the Eagles, in goal tonight, it's going to be number 1, Alex Rechsteiner. Number 4, Pedro Molina. Number 6, Mosi Masimango. Number 9, Mario Alvarez. Number 12, Arik Weinstein. Number 14, Oscar Bernson. Number 20, Ben Shumway. Number 22, Miguel Morales. Number 24, Arnie Heredison. Number 26, Gerard Arias. And number 30, Florian Gasser. And Avery, tonight's going to be probably Husson's biggest test here tonight with number 22 ranked right now in Division III, Bowdoin College coming in. What are they going to have to do if they want to come out and take down the ranked Polar Bears?
I think they're going to have to come out here and keep the ball on the ground and work it around that offense and give themselves those scoring opportunities. And when they get those opportunities, they're going to have to capitalize on them here tonight, Isaac.
Right, and Bowdoin's coming off a win against Thomas College. That came a 4-0 win. And Husson currently on a little bit of a win streak of their own. They're coming off a win against Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, coming off a 1-0 victory there. So the Eagles right now coming in strong, and this is probably going to be their biggest test here tonight. And as of right now, they probably are coming in with probably nothing to lose, I would say, going into this game, Avery.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game for them tonight. Nobody thinks they're going to win this one. Well, certainly some of the critics out there, but I think they have all the chance in the world out here tonight.
And this will be a good test for them, too, as well, as postseason play is coming up here in the next few weeks. So this will be a good test for them as they get ready for their hopeful championship run. And it's going to be Husson going to be starting off with possession here first, and it's going to be Arnie Hariderson kicking things underway here as he will hand it off to Masimango. We'll give it back down to Rex Steiner. Over to Ben Shumway on the far right side. Bowdoin looking to get up on the Eagles here early. This ball's kicked down the field as Bowdoin takes it away, and the ball comes into Reed. Reed over to Cooper. He'll send it down over to Ward, and it's going to be Rex Steiner picking that one up.
And these Eagles are running with a little bit of a different formation here tonight, Isaac. Moving into a more of a 4-1-4-1 here tonight to combat the offensive prowess of this team.
As Bowdoin gets a nice chance there, that's going to be kicked away there from Molina. And now here is Arias now coming up on the right side. He'll try to send it down to Hariderson, but it's going to be Brown almost taken away there. As now it's going to be Reed. Reed will give it over to the goalkeeper, Weber. Send it over to Selig. We'll send it over to Brown. Bowdoin using good passing here so far. The ball will come over to Ben Brown. He will give it back over to Selig.
You can see this team has talented players in all parts of the field here.
The ball will try to get over there to Ward, and Ward was not able to handle that. Yeah, and Bowdoin, too, they also have a lot of players over the height of 6 foot. They definitely have the height advantage over Husson, as Husson does not have much height. They might have some speed, but they don't really have the height compared to Bowdoin.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in this before the pregame here, and Bowdoin has 20 of their 32 players who are above 6 foot, which is interesting with a soccer team that often you see defenders who are above that 6 foot margin, but not necessarily your midfielders and wingers. That they're usually smaller, faster guys out there.
Right, and that's probably a big reason why they're coming in nationally ranked right now. Currently playing some of their best soccer right now. They were ranked earlier. They were, I believe, ranked 11th earlier on in the season. Fell out of the top 25, but then just recently went back into the top 25 as they're now 22nd. Coming in with a record of 6-1-1. Their one loss came against Williams. The ball will come over there to the Eagles there. That's Gasser trying to get a hold of the ball there. As it will be a turnover by the Eagles. Here's Reed. Reed looking, trying to send it down, but going to be a little bit too far ahead for Braver. Arias is going to let that one go out of bounds, and the Eagles will regain possession there. Shumway gives it over to Hariderson. Once again, it's taken away there by Bowdoin. Brown gives it over to Ward. And now it'll be taken away there by Alvarez, but the Bowdoin will take it right back. Here's Huck. Huck tries to give it over there to Minseo. As Shumway takes it away there. Nice play from him. Shumway finds Gasser. Gasser trying to use his speed, but Brown kicks that one away to Weber. Now the ball will come over to Minseo.
Yeah, this is a very senior team here for Bowdoin. That a lot of these starters have been playing together for 3 or 4 years now under the same system, and it's something that's been working really well for them here.
Yeah, they've always had a really good soccer program at Bowdoin. Definitely have played well. I believe they were also ranked last year as well. Last year, both of these teams played at Bowdoin, and it was Bowdoin coming away with a 3-0 victory. As the ball will be kicked down to Reinsteiner, who will kick that one away. It's Morales staying with it. The ball goes out of bounds and it still stays with the Eagles. Weinstein tries to give it over to Gasser, but kicked away there by Huck.
Yeah, Bowdoin certainly has had Husson's number since they've started playing each other a dozen years ago now. That they've won all of the games they've played. That they're 13 for 13 in games versus Husson.
Husson looking to try to change that here tonight. It's the 14th time these two teams have faced against each other. Heriderson inside. Is that one taken away as the ball comes into Reed, and he'll kick it out. He's Braver. Braver will have it kicked out by Weinstein. Good defense there from the Eagles. So now it's going to be Steinberg who's going to make the throw in here. Steinberg tries to give it in, but it's going to be a foul there by Weinstein. Like he pushed Braver in the back there. And Bowdoin looks like was caught off sides there, and it will be a turnover going back over to the Eagles.
Yeah, you saw that flat back line for Husson step up as one group there and just catch him off sides on that play. It's a nice team movement there.
What do you think was Coach Penny's strategy going into this game, especially in this first half? Or do you think they're probably going to try to stall the ball a little bit, try to focus more defensively, and then go a little bit more in the second half offensively? Or
I think Penny knows that they're definitely the underdog here, and if you can get an early goal in one of these games that you're an underdog, it can really deflate a team that going into it felt like they had all the momentum in the world, and if you can get that early goal, it can sometimes upset a team's rhythm on offense, and then it's a lot easier to hold on to a 1-0 lead than to hold on to a 0-0 lead.
right. As it's Alvarez here who gives it over to Shumway, but he'll kick down the field towards Seleg, and Seleg will give it over to the Eagles here. Actually, it looks like it went off of Burnson. Ball quickly comes into Cooper.
But this certainly isn't a game that Coach Penny's expecting to come away with a 6-0 victory like Umpy. It's more of a, they can get that one and hold on to it.
Definitely this will be a big test here for the Eagles, and definitely should be a great game on our hands here as both of these teams getting ready for their postseason runs here at the end of the month. So definitely should be an interesting game. As the ball quickly comes down the field as Ward tries to get a hold of it, tries to head it, and it's going to be Rechsteiner coming away with it, making the nice save.
Yeah, Weinstein missed a little bit of a touch there on that play, and that almost gave Bowdoin their 1-0 victory.
This ball coming over to Shumway, over to Rechsteiner. Rechsteiner's going to kick it down the field here. Tries to give it to Burnson, but Be headed away there by Saleg. Gasser gives it over to Pedro Molina. Tries to give it over to Gasser, but taken away there by Bowdoin. And it looks like we're going to get a foul called on the Eagles. As it was Gasser happened to trip up Huck there. Didn't like the call, but the call still stands.
Yeah, we'll see if the Eagles can keep their heads a little bit tonight. The last couple games here, they've gotten some unnecessary yellow cards or plays that really should have just been swept under the rug.
Definitely. As the ball tries to find its way to Bay, but be taken away by the Eagles. Morales tries to give it over to Alvarez, but taken away there by Cooper. Bowdoin. Nice takeaway there from Morales, and Molina comes away with it. We'll go over to Rex Steiner. Bowdoin's just doing a really good job here with attacking and pressuring Husson's offense. You know, I'm sure that was probably a game plan for them, as Husson's a very good team with being patient offensively and always trying to get the best look they can. As the referee tells Masimango to kick it again.
Yeah, I think he didn't like how Mosey was kind of kicking that around a little bit.
As Masimango will give it over to Gasser. Gasser gives it to Morales. Morales will send it back out to Molina as they'll try to get something going offensively. Morales has that one taken away by Bowdoin, but Alvarez quickly takes it away. Gasser tries to send it down to Burnson. Shumway now. Over to Ryderson. Nice little backwards kick there from Gasser, but it's going to be Weber picking that one up.
Yeah, like you said with that offensive pressure a few moments ago, that this team only has 2 attackers, but they play in a... I'll let you jump in there.
As Morales gets a nice shot on goal there, but just happens to go a little bit too far up. But definitely was one of the best looks Husson has had so far here in this early going.
Yeah, but they only have those 2 attackers, but they have that attacking center midi there in Bay that he can put a lot of pressure on that defense along with their wingbacks. That they play a diamond formation in the middle, and they have a lot of possession in the midfield with that formation. It's something that's very difficult to do to keep shape, but if you can pull it off, it can be very deadly.
Molina now trying to bring it up. Tries to find Weinstein, but puts it a little bit too far in front of him. It'll be a turnover going back to Bowdoin. Steinberg looking to try to find someone. Steinberg throws it in, tries to give it to Bay. Gets pushed from behind from Molina, as that'll be a foul called.
Yeah, this referee is certainly not letting a lot slide here tonight in this early going.
It definitely should be a very physical game here tonight. Bowdoin definitely, so far what I've noticed, they've definitely put a lot of pressure on the players here, and they'll be trying to get a strategy here for the Eagles to try to force some turnovers.
Yeah, they have that size advantage, but we know these Eagles don't like to get pushed around out there, so a lot of these guys, they might be shorter in stature, but they have just as much strength and pressure on the other team.
Right. And, you know, Husson definitely has the speed as well. Has a deep bench, can be able to go to other players when they need to off the bench and provide an impact. And that's going to be taken away by Bowdoin. That's Braver trying to get on the action there. And Huck quickly going down the sideline, gets a crossover. Molina trying to kick it out. Huck comes right back in, gives a cross. Shumway kicks it away, and that's Weinstein kicking it out. Weinstein has it taken away. It's Burnson now sending it down the fields. As that's Seleg. Gives it over to Weber. Over to Reed. It's Reed sends it down to Bay. Bay makes a move past Arias. Gives a crossover to Ward, but it's going to be a little bit too far. And Rex and Reinsteiner coming away with it. Heriderson now. Coming up on the left side. Gives it to Morales. Morales tries to send it over to Bernson. Arias sends it to Ward. Ward. Good defense there by Molina to take that away from him. But he has that taken away there once again by Cooper. Bay brings it out. Tries to take a shot there, but it's going to be Rechsteiner picking that one up.
Yeah, Molina's certainly one of the better defenders out there on this field right now. That he can do it all out there, and he's a player who's perfectly in tune to getting to that ball and playing against players who are, as you can see, he's much bigger in size than him, but Molina's right there to just kind of dog him on those types of plays.
Yeah, he definitely has his hands full tonight as Charlie Ward coming in, a 6'4" forward, as Bay takes a shot and just goes a little bit too far to the left. And goes out of bounds. A missed opportunity from Bowdoin. But Charlie Ward coming in 6'4", and Pedro Molina coming in at 5'8". So definitely it's going to be a big challenge there for Molina, but you know he's always up for that challenge.
I think Bay is another player to watch out for here today. That you see these big guys out there and they kind of distract you a little bit, but Bay's a quick attacking midi there that I can tell already that he knows how to find that space and he can get the shots off, and he's somebody to watch out for in this game.
Yeah, I would definitely say the same thing as well. Bay is, from what I've noticed here so far, has definitely been a quick player for Bowdoin and can be able to, you know, get something happen here for Bowdoin. As the ball comes down to Reed. Reed will give it over there to Seleg. Seleg gives a pass over there to Brown. Brown tries to find Bay, but has it taken away by Arias. Shumway will give it over to Rechsteiner. As Rechsteiner now will look to try to find someone open. As he'll try to send it down the field to Gasser. As that one was almost taken away there by Steinberg. Molina gives a pass over to Weinstein. Gives it back over to Molina. Molina will keep going here, looking to try to make something happen. Molina gives it to Heriderson. Over to Morales, back over to Heriderson. Heriderson over to Molina. Molina's going to take a shot, but a nice save there from Weber, and Bowdoin comes away with it.
That's exactly what Husson needs to do here tonight to get those scoring opportunities, is pull those couple big center backs there and Reed and Siegel out to the wings and force that defense apart.
Right, and that was Rechsteiner picking that one up, trying to avoid Ward taking that away from him.
You saw in that last play there, Reed got pulled all the way out to that wing, and it gave that space in the middle for Molina and Heriderson to fill in there.
Yeah, that was definitely a great look there. All started with Molina bringing it up. Then some nice passing from Heriderson and Morales, and Molina had a look, just didn't get enough power to it. Ward is going to try to send a crossover, tries to find Braver, but that is going to be kicked out there. Ward will pull it back out, gives it over to Brown. Brown tries to send it down as Shumway able to draw the foul there, as that was Bay pushing him in the back from behind. So Rex Steiner will send it down to Weinstein. Gives it over to Morales. Weinstein will pull it back out. See, we'll give it over to Molina. Molina to Morales. Morales gives it over to Masimango. It's a foul called there on Bowdoin. The Eagles will look to move up the field, and Molina will try to get something going. He'll give it over to Arias on the far right side. Is that taken away by Cooper, but will be out of bounds. Arias will throw it in to Shumway. Tries to give a pass over to Weinstein, almost taken away by Braver, but Eagles still staying with it. Gasser, Masimango over to Shumway. Shumway to Arias on the right side, gives it to Burnson. Burnson tries to give it to Ryderson. Gasser finds one over to Ryderson, looking to cross, takes the shot. Just happens to go a little bit to the left again, but a very good look there from Ryderson.
Yeah, he got pushed out to the corner of that 6-yard line, but he still almost bent that into that bottom corner there. And that was a really nice attempt by him to keep that on his feet, even while being dogged by a defender there.
And it kind of looked like there at first that with the angle he was coming at, it looked like he was maybe going to try to cross it, and then it actually was a shot there and just happened to just barely miss. But a great look from the Eagles.
Yeah, I think Ryerson was just trying to get that somewhere in the middle.
Ward pulls it back, looks across, takes a shot, and it's going to be Rex Steiner right there taking it away.
Yeah, Ward made a nice move out on that wing to lose his defender and give himself that scoring opportunity there.
Alvarez now will send it to Molina. Molina tries to give it to Gasser, but taken away there by Huck. So he'll give it to Bay, over to Reed. Gives it over to Seleg. Seleg looking to try to find something here. Will send it down the field, but taken away by Shumway. Masimango gives it to Arias, has that one taken away, and Bowdoin now looking to make something happen. Bay being guarded there by Masimango. Gives it over to Juan Torrena. Ward has that one taken away by Masimango, and Arias now looking to try to do something. Tries to send it down to Ryderson. It's going to be a little bit too far down the field for him, and Weber will pick it up and give it over to Reed.
Yeah, they're trying to use Ryderson's speed up there to get past that strong defense. If you can just have Ryderson run right by him, that eliminates the purpose of having those big guys back there to win those crosses.
Ryderson coming off a big week, as that was Bay with the trip there. But Ryderson so far having a great season here for the Eagles, currently leading the team in goals.
He has 6 goals on the year so far, with a lot of those coming in these last few games here. That he's had 3 goals and 3 assists over his last 3 games here, so we'll see if he can continue that in this game.
He's definitely provided a lot of good things here for the Eagles, as he's only I believe he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a sophomore out of Iceland. This Eagles team is very talented at that sophomore class level right now.
And it's definitely a good thing to see, as Masimango now comes away with it. Masimango tries to give it over, but has that one kicked away by Bowdoin. He'll give it over to Huck. Huck looks to make a pass over to Ward, but taken away there by Shumway.
Well, even in just this starting lineup, you see players like Gasser and Alvarez, who are sophomores. Rechsteiner's a sophomore. Molina's a sophomore. Morales and Weinstein are both freshmen, and Masamongo's a junior, and you only have a couple seniors out there, and Shumway and Bernston and Arias. It's a very young, talented team.
Absolutely. They definitely have a bright future ahead of them. It was last year. They had a good team as Gasser tries to take a shot. Just goes a little bit too far over. That was a deep shot there from Gasser, but just goes over the head there.
Yeah, Weber had come off his line a little bit. I think Gasser knew he wasn't going to win that foot race there with a couple Bowdoin defenders coming onto him, so he kind of saw his opportunity there and just took that.
As now it's going to be Reed sending it down tries to give it over to Bay, but once again, that'll be a little bit too far as Rechsteiner will come away with it. Mongo over to Arias. Arias has that one kicked out there by Cooper.
Reed's another dangerous player for these Bowdoin Polar Bears, as he can send a ball all the way from his own 18 all the way up into that attacking third for Bowdoin, and it's a very dangerous thing when you can send a ball on a dime all the way up to your attackers from your defensive level.
Absolutely, definitely a very good player for this team here. Good turnout there from the Eagles fans and parents and stuff today. As a good, I would say about almost all the bleachers there are pretty full.
Yeah, it's a very pleasant night out here. We've had some cold ones in the recent weeks, and I think a lot of Husson fans there. It's a pretty boring Wednesday night out here, so I figured they'd come watch a good soccer game.
Yeah, definitely, like you mentioned, it's definitely not as cold or as windy as like it has been the past few days. As tonight's just about perfect. It's not too cold and it's not too freezing or anything like that. And it's a good night just to watch a good soccer game between two good teams. Ryderson looking to try to take that one away from Seleg. He'll give it over to Weber.
Yeah, it's about 60 with no wind out there right now, and it's pretty perfect soccer weather, and on the sidelines, pretty perfect blanket weather to sit down on the bleachers and have a good time.
Absolutely. As a pass over there by Brown, gives it over to Cooper. As it's Ward looking to try to send it down to Huck. Huck holds on to it here, being guarded by Weinstein. Gives a pass over. Dangerous play. A nice play there from Rechsteiner.
Yeah, he played that perfectly to clear that ball out of there. If he wasn't there on that one, that would have been a goal there for Bowdoin. That was something I saw right before that play developed. That Huck was wide open out on that right side, and he had the time to trap that long ball all the way across the field there.
It definitely was a great pass there from Huck and had a good opportunity, but even better play from Rechsteiner. So now we're going to see number 30, Matteo Puccelli, checking in the game for Minseo Bay. As a throw-in comes in to the Bowdoin here. Huck will look to bring it out, gives it over to Brown. Brown looks to send it down and almost could have found the back of the net there, but Rechsteiner jumps up and grabs it.
Yeah, that was certainly a dangerous ball into the box there.
So now it's Puccelli, just checked into the game. Huck gives it over to Ward. Ward looks across to Braver, has that one kicked out. It'll be a throw-in for Bowdoin.
Yeah, it looks like Huck's moved into that position that Bay was playing earlier in this game.
Huck with a dangerous play. Rex Steiner, nice save. As I believe that went off his foot, hopped up in the air, and Rex Steiner quickly jumped up and took it away.
Yeah, Rex Steiner is a really calm player back there, and sometimes it seems like he's moving slow, but he always moves right at the perfect pace for the play that just doesn't get worried out there. He's a cool cucumber in net.
Yeah, it was a dangerous play as Huck tried to take a shot on goal there, and I believe it was Puccelli trying to bounce back on the rebound there, but just a nice save from Rex Steiner.
Yeah, Bowdoin likes to bring it up those wings and send low balls in over the bottom of the box there and try to get it to their attacking midi and other strikers up there to make a play on it.
The ball happens to go out of bounds and given over to the Eagles. Weinstein makes a throw into Ryderson, over to Morales. Gasser gives it to Burnson. Burnson over to Molina. Gives a pass over to Shumway. Over to Alvarez. And now it's Ryderson. Ryderson gives it to Arias. Arias tries to give it to Burnson. Burnson's going to look to cross. And it'll be kicked out of bounds, but it'll be the first corner kick of the game for the Eagles.
Yeah, that was certainly a great ball across the baseline there and almost got Ryerson on the end of it, but it'll be interesting here on this corner kick what the Eagles try to do is there's a lot of tall bodies in that box right now.
As it's going to be Alvarez who's going to take the corner kick here for the Eagles. Alvarez to Molina. Molina tries to head it, and it looks like it will hit the top of the net, and it will go out of bounds.
Yeah, you saw Husson play that a little bit short there over to Molina in an effort to avoid those tall heads that were packing the middle there. It was a great chance there from him to get that in.
It definitely was a great play there from Molina. Just happened to head that one just a little bit too high. Ward gives it over to Puccelli. Gives it back over to Ward, but taken away by Shumway. Molina will kick it down the fields. As Ronaldo Cabral checked into the game for Bowdoin. He's one of Bowdoin's top leading goal scorers of the game here.
Yeah, he's a speedy player up there that can be very dangerous in that attacking third of the ball.
The ball happens to go out of bounds, and it'll be the Eagles with the throw-in. Arias will make the throw-in here. Gives it down to, tries to give it to Ryderson. As it looks like there's going to be a foul called there. They're going to call that one on Ryderson. Cabral. As you hear Bowdoin coach telling his players to move up here.
Yeah, you can see Reed, who's a big 6'3" defender, just moved all the way up into that box. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to get him the ball here.
And you see here too, Weber's the only one back here for Bowdoin. He's playing up. As a nice cross over to Huck, and Huck happens to kick that one out of bounds.
Yeah, those free kicks can be very dangerous for this team with just how many big bodies they have in there that can get on the end of these high balls up in the air.
So now we're moving in as close to about 12 minutes left to play in this first half. I'm Isaac Potter alongside Avery Henningsen as it's Bowdoin taking on Husson men's soccer. It's now a throw in down to Ryderson. As that one taken away. As now it's Brown giving it over to Steinberg. Steinberg gives it over to Cabral. And it looks like Weinstein happens to turn an ankle there, but happens to be okay.
It looked like his toe got a little stomped on there, which can be a very painful injury right off the bat, as there's not a lot of coverage out there, that you don't have any muscle or fat to protect you from those sorts of stomps, and cleats can be quite spiked or quite painful.
As there's a foul called there, as it looks like that was Cooper pushing over Burnson. And the Eagles players now moving up here, looking to try to make something happen.
Yeah, we'll see if Gasser tries to float this in over the top or take one for himself here. It's a little far out for a shot, but we've seen crazier things.
As Gasser here will take the kick here. Tries to send it down to Molina, and a nice play by Weber to take that one away. Weber gives it over to Monterena. Monterena gives it over to Cabral. Cabral sends it down to Bocelli. So that one will be kicked out of bounds there by Shumway. As now we're going to see a sub coming into the game.
Number 28, Drew Phillips.
Number 28, Drew Phillips, checking in for number 10, Harry Cooper.
They like to keep some fresh legs out on that field here for Bowdoin and make sure they can keep players moving fast in the middle.
As that was a bullet there from Monterena, but it looks like it'll be I think it might have been an offsides call or a handball.
Yeah, it looked like that hit Cabral right in the hand there, but you could see the dangerousness from Guantanera there, that if he was going to get that shot off, it was going to be a scary one.
Morales bringing it up on the far left, on the left side here. Gets pushed over by Steinberg, no whistle, and he looks to bring it up here. Bocelli tries to give it over to Cabral, and it will be an offsides call on Cabral. Good effort from him, but just happened to be a little bit offsides there.
That was a very late call there. The ref really let the play develop before he called that, but I think that might have been the head referee who made the final decision on that one.
Soon there will be another sub coming into the game for Bowdoin. Husson has yet to throw a sub out there. That's something that Coach Penny normally does. He'll let normally all of his players play in that first half, and then we'll look to start making some substitutions in that second half.
Yeah, well, you can sometimes lull a team a little bit, that they get used to a certain pace of play, and then all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 guys who are fresh and ready to go, get shoved in there, and then that defense isn't ready for it.
Absolutely. As Everett Horch now checking into the game for number 21, Charlie Ward.
Coming into the game, number 9, Everett Horch. And leaving the field, number 21, Charlie Ward.
As Charlie Ward will get a breather there. Ward is a senior from San Francisco, California. Says Juantorena sends it down to Huck. Nice play there from Molina to take that away from him. Molina still staying on his feet, gives it over to Gasser, but it's going to be taken away by Huck. And now it's Gasser. Gasser to Hariderson. Hariderson using his speed to bring it up. Gives it over to Alvarez. Alvarez pulls it back and gives it to Arias. Hariderson tries to give it over to Masimango. Arias takes it away from a Bowdoin player. Molina looks to take a shot. Just goes a little bit too far over. But another good look there from Molina.
Yeah, he's getting that little bit of, Bowdoin likes to drop back when Husson gets those offensive opportunities and pack that middle of the field, and it gives Molina the chance to step up a little bit and take one of those long shots that, if he could get it on target, can be very dangerous from that position. Goalkeeper's not expecting it. He's expecting a ball in over the top, and he can get caught off his line a little bit.
As dangerous play there, as that was Horch making the play as Rechsteiner came out of the goal, but it happens to go out of bounds, and it'll be the Eagles kicking this one away.
Yeah, Rechsteiner moved pretty far up the field there, and it was pretty dangerous on that play.
The Eagles definitely caught a break there as Horch had a good look at it, just missed it a little bit too far to the left. That's Steinberg takes it away. Gives it over to Pacelli. And it looks like there will be a foul called there on Bertson. It's one Terena looking to try to get it in quickly.
Yeah, Burnson gave him a little bit of a shove there, but he went down a little bit too easily for being such a big guy out there.
And Bowdoin will have a good chance here to try to do something here, as it's going to be Ronaldo Cabral taking this kick here.
Yeah, we'll see if he tries to get this in over the top, or he also might take a shot on this. Looks like he's going to float it in over those heads out there.
Cabral sends it down, as it's Reed trying to get hold of that one. Taken away there by Morales. Morales will kick it down the field. It'll be Seleg. And Gasser happens to hold him there. And it's going to be Pacelli now. Excuse me, that's actually Phillips going to take this kick here.
Yeah, Husson's trying to counterattack while Bowdoin's main defender, Reed, is all the way up the field for those headers. But it's a dangerous play for him.
Phillips. And a nice play there, as that was Monterena making a nice pass, but it happens to be offsides, as that was Horch just a little bit too offsides there.
Yeah, that's something they're trying to do, is work it out to that left side and get one of those guys to head it back across the middle to charging Reed or Horch out there.
Now we're just under 4 minutes left to play in this first half. Still remains scoreless, 0-0. Both teams playing hard here. Rechsteiner will handle it now for the Eagles. Rechsteiner. Coach Penny telling his players to play down the field here, looking to try to get something going into halftime. Gasser to Heriderson. It's going to be Reed giving it over to Weber, who will kick down the fields. Cabral. Is that one taken away? Arias trying to find Burnson, but kicked out by Pacelli.
Yeah, Shumway might have just saved a goal there for the Eagles, as he was backpedaling pretty hard, and there was nobody behind him if that ball got over his head towards Cabral, who's streaking up there.
Cabral definitely does a lot of good things. Cabral tries to give it down to Horch, but they'll be kicked out by Molina. Eagles continuing to play up here. As a pass will now come over to Reed. Reed tries to give it to Horch, but kicked away by Molina. Masimango. And it looks like it'll be a foul called. So it looks like that was on Galoye.
Yeah, Mosey's a very talented defender there in that central part of the Husson defensive midfield, as he was a second team D3 player last year, and I believe he won Defensive Player of the Week several times.
Yeah, Masimango did win Defensive Player of the Week. Arne Heriderson recently just won that Player of the Week this past week for his effort against UNE, UMPI, and Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts.
Yeah, as we touched on earlier, he had 3 goals and 3 assists over those 3 games, and it's certainly a highlight reel.
As that will be kicked out there by the Eagles, and Bowdoin now will have their first corner kick of the game as we're just about 1:10 left to play. So it's going to be number 7, Ben Brown, taking the corner kick here.
Yeah, you can see that group of just absolutely massive Bowdoin players out on that back post there. That there's some tall players going to try to get ahead on this.
Brown tries to give it in to Juan Torreina, and a nice play from Rex Steiner. Rex Steiner quickly giving it down to Alvarez. 40 seconds left to play now. Steinberg is a throw in to Morales. Weinstein will kick it down to Seleg. Coach Penny telling his players to play up. Ball comes down to Molina. Over to Alvarez. And it looks like it'll be a handball there. Bowdoin quickly trying to get something happen. 15 seconds left. Ball comes into Steinberg. Shumway will kick it away. Gasser looking to make something happen. 3 seconds as the ball will bounce over to Weber. And that is how the first half will end, as it still remains scoreless, 0-0. Avery, definitely a very entertaining. There might have been no goals, but it's been a very entertaining first half.
Yeah, both teams had a lot of opportunities out there, and I think for the Eagles, Coach Penny's he's happy to be tied with the 22nd ranked team in the country right now, and these two teams are playing great out there, and we'll see how it turns out here in the second half.
Absolutely, definitely both teams playing hard, and we should be in for a entertaining second half. We'll take a halftime break, but stay with us here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. As we go into halftime, it's Bowdoin 0, Husson 0. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. And we are back at Boucher Field as we're right about to get the second half underway, as currently it's tied 0-0 at halftime between Bowdoin's Men College, coming in nationally ranked, number 22 ranked in Division III, against the Husson men's team. I'm Isaac Potter alongside Avery Henningsen. We want to take a moment to thank today's game sponsors: Performance PT, designing our healthier you; Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and Bangor; Nothing Runs Like a Deer; Governor's Restaurant; and Casella, giving resources new life. Avery, it was a really entertaining first half, but what's going to be key going into the second half here for the Eagles?
I think Husson just needs to keep playing good defense, and on those counterattack opportunities, they need to capitalize on those goals, because you need at least one to win here tonight. So
It's going to be Bowdoin going to start things underway here in this second half. Both teams looking to try to take control of this thing, as both teams still remain scoreless here. Arias sends it down to Gasser. Gasser gonna take a shot, just goes too far to the right. But what a good look there from Gasser.
yeah, you can see the Husson players applauding him there. That was certainly a good opportunity from him. Got his knee over the ball well, and that was just a few ticks wide.
Yeah, good effort there by Gasser to be able to corral that and then still get a good shot off. Just happened to go a little bit too far to the right. And it's going to be Weber kicking it underway as the ball comes into Ward. Ball will come out to Arias. Arias tries to kick it down, but gets a little bobble there and it goes out of bounds, going over to Bowdoin. Ben Brown gives it over to Saleg. Saleg gives it to Cooper. Cooper makes a little crossover. Gives it over to Braver. Braver over to Huck, and it looks like it's going to be offsides there. Ball going back over to the Eagles. It's going to be Pedro Molina taking the kick here.
Yeah, Bowdoin did a nice job moving that ball around their offense there on that last play, and they almost had a scoring opportunity there before that offsides call.
As it's going to be another offsides called there on Ward. Two early offsides calls for the Bowdoin. We're just now 2 minutes into this second half. Rex Steiner gives it over to Shumway. Over to Alvarez. Alvarez gives the cross over to Arias, but he'll give it back over to Shumway again. Alvarez tries to give it over, but it's going to be taken away. Ward's going to have a shot here and happens to find the back of the net. And there's actually going to be an offsides call there. And I believe it was on Pacelli. And the Bowdoin fans did not like that. But the Eagles catch a break there.
Yeah, that looked like a goal right there. I think it was a little unfortunate for them that looked like Pacelli, who he was there to just finish that in from Ward, but I think that might have gone in on its own anyway. But I think they called him on the little tap in there at the end where the ball was practically across the line already.
Yeah, the refs are talking about it here.
Yeah, they might call it something along the lines of they weren't trying to pass it to him, so he wasn't offsides, that it went off Retzsteiner there in the middle. But
and it will be no goal, as the refs officially confirmed that. It's Pacelli, who's a little bit offsides there, and the referee's going to go over to talk to Coach Wazinski about this.
yeah, that's a very deflating play there for Bowdoin that I think a lot of the players on the field thought that was in there.
Definitely a tough break for Bowdoin, as that would have given them the first goal of the game. That definitely would have gave them some control and some momentum, but the call will be offsides, and it's going to be Rechsteiner with a goal kick here.
Yeah, he'll be looking to push this ball right out of that defense. And
Rechsteiner sends it down. This ball will come into Ward. Bocelli gives it over to Huck. Huck using his speed, gets by Weinstein, gives a crossover, tries to find Bocelli, but Rechsteiner comes out away with it.
I think Rechsteiner right now is probably the player of the game for this Husson team. The offense honestly hasn't done quite a lot up there, but Rechsteiner's been there for a couple very key saves here today.
Yeah, and so far, Bowdoin has had 11 shots compared to Husson 8. But Bowdoin has had 8 shots on goal, and Husson Rechsteiner making all those saves there. He's definitely done some good things here for the Eagles. Mossy Mongo kicks it down, tries to find Hryderson, but it's going to be Reed giving it over to Weber. Weber gives it over to Seleg. Seleg looks to send it down to Ward, but be taken away there by Molina. Mossy Mongo. Side one taken away by Braver. Braver trying to make something happen, but it's going to be Rechsteiner who's going to come away with it. So he'll pick that one up.
I think those two center backs for Husson and Molina and Chu might have also played a very key role in this 0-0 ball or game here today. That they've been slowing down that offensive pressure from Ward up there.
The ball will come over there to Torreina. Taken away there by Reed. Mossy Mongo gives a pass over to Hryderson. Over to Burnson. Burnson's going to try to take a shot. Blocked away there by Seleg. Seleg gives it. Burnson gives it over to Arias. Arias makes a little move. Tries to find Gasser, but taken away there by Bowdoin. Looked like there Arias could have had a chance to shoot that, but tried to find the closer option.
Yeah, I think if Arias looks back at that film, he would have rather taken that with his left foot there, but he's trying to find a teammate up there for a little bit of a better opportunity.
Molina now having the ball here. Gives it over to Gasser. Gasser will give it over to Burnson. And it looks like it'll be an offsides call on Burnson. I think he knew it right away, too. It looked like he tried to slow down there to try to get onside, but it will be called an offsides, and Bowdoin comes away with it.
Yeah, those balls in over the top can be very touchy with the offsides. That you and your teammate need to be on the same page with it, or you're going to be called out for it.
Beautiful ball to Huck. Huck's going to try to take a shot, but nice save there by Rechsteiner. The ball will go out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Bowdoin, but a nice stop there from him.
Yeah, absolute missile from Huck there to in on goal, but Rechsteiner was there to just kind of punch that wide, and I think that's the only thing he could do. If he managed to get two hands and grip that, that would have been quite impressive from him.
It's going to be Cooper here taking the first corner kick of the second half. Both teams only had 1 corner kicks in the first half.
But it's still a very dangerous opportunity for this tall Bowdoin team.
Cooper decides to do something different here, and they'll pull it out. As that will be Steinberg trying to send it down, but it's going to be taken away by the Eagles. Right.
Certainly an interesting corner kick play there to instead of sending it into those tall players who can get ahead on it, they tried to work it back, and I think they were trying to pull that Husson defense out there and work a ball back in over the top.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting, and Cooper, I think, wanted to get a better angle at it, as that's Bocelli trying to take a shot there, and that'll go too far over the nets.
Yeah, he didn't get his knee over the ball there and just sent that ball sky high.
So now it's 37-39 left to play here in this second half. Both teams still remaining scoreless. Next game for Bowdoin, they're going to be going to Trinity College, playing an 11 o'clock game, and then on the 9th, they'll be playing against Amherst College, who's a very good soccer program over there as well. And then for Husson, they're going to be going on the road here. They're going to be facing Northern Vermont Johnson on the 8th at 1 o'clock, and then they'll be facing against SUNY Canton the next day on the 9th at 11 a.m. As we're going to see Molina going to kick it away here. Sends it down, tries to find Arias, but be headed out by Brown. Ball sent down the field. Shumway gives it to Masimango. Pacelli. Now Alvarez.
It's a nice job by Alvarez there to come back and slow that play down. That it looked like Pucelli had a lot of running room in front of him.
Molina will send it down to Gasser. As it's going to be Weinstein trying to make something happen here. Stays with it. Gives it to Gasser. Gasser over to Morales. Morales looks to try to send it down to Arias, but Weber's going to come out of the nets. Come away with it. It's going to be sent down the field here by Cooper. As Rechsteiner will let that roll out of bounds. Both teams playing hard here in this game. It's going to be Rechsteiner with the goal kick here.
Yeah, Weber for Bowdoin, despite playing all their games this season, has only had to make 17 saves, and he's only allowed 4 goals, which means his defense has really only allowed 21 shots on him here this season. And it's showing here today that Husson just hasn't had a lot of scoring opportunities, despite being a very scoring offense themselves. That really the core of this team is that back line.
Yeah, definitely. And Weber, like you mentioned, has done a really good job in net here so far tonight and on the season. And it's a big reason why Bowdoin is ranked, is they have a lot of talented players on this team. But definitely, when you have a really good goal keeper in Weber, you're going to win a lot of games.
That's certainly true.
As we're going to see now a corner kick here. I believe that is Huck going to take the corner kick.
Yeah, I'd imagine they're going to try to not play anything.
Well, they're going to go back to the same play. That one works better. Rechsteiner makes the stop. Ward was right there, but was not able to corral it. And it happens to go out of bounds off of him. Definitely was a good look there for Bowdoin.
Yeah, those are those dangerous ones. That's what I was more expecting from the short pass. A lot of teams, they use the short pass to try to lull that defense out and then send it back in, and that's exactly what they did right there. Is they pulled that Husson defense forward a little bit and then put that ball right into the middle, and it was a very dangerous opportunity.
Weinstein tries to send it down into the box, but it will go out of bounds and will stay with the Eagles here. Now we're going to see our first sub of the game here for the Eagles. We're going to see number 21, Carlos Echeverse, checking into the game for number 9, Mario Alvarez.
Leaving the field, number 9, Mario Alvarez.
Yeah, Alvarez is obviously coming off that knee injury from last season. I think Coach Penny's still easing him into the field a little bit here.
As ball taken away there by Huck. It's Echeverse, who just checked into the game. Gives it over to Weinstein. Weinstein. Over. And it looks like, not sure what they called it there, but it will be a turnover going back over to Bowdoin.
Looked like that ball might have rolled just over the sideline there.
Gasser gives it over to Masamango. Masamango sends it to Arias on the right side. Arias over to Burnson. Burnson gives the pass to Gasser, to Echeverse. Echeverse gives it over to Gasser, but it's going to be kicked away by Bowdoin. Braver sends it down to Ward. Ward's going to have a chance here to make something happen. Taken away by Molina. Great effort there by Pedro Molina. So he's still rushing on the defensive side. As that one's taken away by Ryderson. Gasser now. He's going to have a chance. Tries to give a crossover to Ryderson, but kicked away by Reed.
Yeah, that was some really good effort on both the offense and defensive side of the ball there for Husson, as Molina made potentially a goal-saving tackle there over on that wing, and Gasser was very close to being in on goal there.
As it's Cooper now. Giving over to Brown. Brown tries to send it down to Huck, but taken away by Masimango. Echeverse over to Arias. As that one's going to go out of bounds. Will be off of the Eagles as Bowdoin quickly gets it in. Ball will find its way over to Reed. Shumway is over to Molina. Molina. Send it down. This ball coming now to Ward. Ward looks to try to give a pass, but it's going to be kicked out by Shumway. Ryderson looking to use his speed. Looks like it's Saleh giving a pass over to Brown. Brown has that one taken away by Shumway, but the ball will find its way over to Huck. As that will be picked up there by Rick Steiner, and the Eagles will come away with it.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Penny's trying to get a few more players in there and get some fresh people out there.
As in the next whistle here, it's going to be number 25, Jared Bolton, who's going to check into the game here for the Eagles. Bolton's a senior for this Eagles squad. Ball finds its way over to Reed. Reed, he's over to Huck. As that one happens to go out of bounds, it'll be a turnover going to the Eagles. As Bolton will check into the game here for Burnson. And we're going to see another sub for Bowdoin. Nseo Bay checks back into the game for Pachuli.
For the Eagles, number 25, Jared Bolton, entering for number 14, Oscar Burnson.
28-27 left to play in this game.
Yeah, Bolton obviously had that great assist last game here for the Eagles, as he saw Murato out on that back post for a pretty nice goal out there.
Right. Yeah, Bolton definitely has a strong kick as the ball finds his way over to Braver. Braver's going to try a shot, but doesn't get the right foot on that one, and it's going to be Rex Steiner picking that one up.
Yeah, I think that was one favorable bounce away from potentially being a goal there for Bowdoin, as that skipped away from Braver a little bit on that play, but you're seeing them get some more offensive pressure here in these last 5 to 10 minutes.
As Braver tried a shot there, but it was blocked away by Shumway. And we're going to see a push there from behind from Eagles player. And it looks like we're going to get a yellow card. Let's see who they called it on. Looks like it's going to be a yellow card awarded to Arias.
Yeah, he's the captain out there, and I think he might have been talking to the ref about that foul, as you could hear Coach Penny yelling a little bit for potentially a flop on that play, as that Bowdoin player went down quite easily again.
And it looks like there's going to be a push from behind from a Bowdoin player down in the box, and it'll be a turnover going back to the Eagles. But yeah, I definitely think, though, Arias just was a little bit frustrated on the call and must have said something and happened to get the yellow card. Both teams showing this passion in the game, and really, you can tell both these teams really want to come away with a win here tonight. As it's Huck giving it away to Ward. Masamango is going to kick it out of bounds. Now we're going to see Steinberg going to throw it in here, but we'll see some subs coming into the game. It's going to be number 11, Cabral, and number 9, Everett Horch checking into the game, giving Charlie Ward a break.
And number 9, Everett Horch coming in for 21, Charlie Ward.
And now it's going to be Brown now coming away with it here. Brown looks to send it down to Bay. Masimango using his speed, and he will kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a nice job by him there to come in and close that play down before any ball could get sent out across the box.
Horch comes away with it. It comes over to Steinberg, who's going to take a shot and finds the back of the net. And Steinberg scores the first goal of the game. And what a big goal that was there for Bowdoin.
Yeah, that was an absolute rocket, and Rechsteiner was caught a little bit flat-footed there, but I don't think there was anything he could have done on that play, as that just rocketed right into that upper left-hand corner.
As that was a big goal right there for Bowdoin, as that goal comes with 26:42 left to play in this second half. And it's going to be Hariderson going to kick things underway here.
Yeah, we'll see if Husson looks to change up their formation a little bit, try to get a little bit more offensive pressure here after that goal, but there's just nothing Rechsteiner could do on that play.
As Arias gets tripped up there, Coach Penny looking for a whistle call there, but will not get a call, and it'll be a goal kick away for Weber. Weber getting ready to kick it underway here.
But as I was saying, Rechsteiner, that was just an absolute missile from well outside the 18, and I don't think anybody was expecting that to just be absolute upper corner there. That was very close to a double bar action.
Yeah, Steinberg definitely with a rocket. I thought at first it might have, looked like it was going to be trying to pass in for someone to try to head it in off the assist from Steinberg, but Steinberg just finds the top left-hand side of the net and puts Bowdoin in control here so far now. Still lots of time, though, here in the game, as we're just about 25-17 left to play.
Yeah, and as we've seen, this Bowdoin team hasn't exactly allowed a lot of offensive pressure for the Eagles, so they'll be looking to push it up the field a little bit more here in these last 20 minutes.
Definitely, for sure, as Rechsteiner's going to kick it away here. We'll give it over to Shumway. Back over to Rechsteiner. Rechsteiner will pull it back.
That's something you see from Rechsteiner a lot, is that he's very smooth with the ball at his feet and can get away from those charging offensive players.
Edge reverse. Trying to get it in quickly there, but the ref says they'll hold up for a second. This is going to be Masimango. He'll give it over to Morales. Morales over to Masimango. We'll give it over to Arias. Arias. We'll give it to Bolton. Bolton looking to make something happen on the right side. He'll lose the ball there, as it'll be Horch quickly getting in the throw in. Bay will try to give it down to Steinberg. Steinberg will kick it down as that's headed away by Molina. Cabral has that one taken away. And here's Etravers. Etravez over to Bolton. Bolton Gives it to Weinstein. Back over to Bolton. Bolton trying to get by there, but kicked away. So now we're going to see another sub here for the Eagles. It's going to be number 23, Tyler Welch, checking into the game for Florian Gasser.
Yeah, Welch is somebody who's been seeing a little bit more playing time for these Eagles as of late after he had a very good game back here a couple weeks ago versus Umpy. He looked very talented out there on the field, and he's a player who's a senior, but this is his first season with the team, and he's played for Northeastern in the past, and there's a lot of pedigree coming into this program.
Yeah, he definitely, he's from Herman, Maine, went to Bangor Christian High School, and he was a part of that team that won at least 1 or 2 state championships when he was there. He's a very good player for that team. As that'll be a quick corner kick in. It's Hooper trying to give a crossover, and it'll be sent down the field. Ryderson looking to try to get a hold of it. Ryderson tries to give it over to Welch. So that happens to go out of bounds. And it'll be given back over to Bowdoin.
Yeah, I think Coach Penny also is trying to get some of his offensive starters a little bit of a break here with about 20 minutes left to play to try to maybe fit them back in there over those last 10 minutes and go hard with his best players.
Welch tries to give it over, but taken away there by Bowdoin. And it's going to be sent down to Bay. Bay gives a pass over to Cabral. Cabral gives it over to Cooper. Cooper over to Welch now. Welch looking to bring it up. Gives a pass over to Morales. That one's taken away by Steinberg. And it's going to be Bowdoin coming away with it, but it will be an offsides call on Cabral. Just a little bit too far ahead of the defender there.
Yeah, a nice job by Husson there to keep a nice flat back line and make sure that pass was offsides.
Chavez gives it over to Arias. Arias over to Bolton, but taken away there by Cooper. Down to Bay, and Bay's going to send it a little bit too far down. Rechsteiner will give it over to Molina. Molina bringing it up. Give it over to Morales. Tries to give it over to Welch. Taken away there by Bowdoin.
It looked like a little bit of a miscommunication there between Welch and Etcheverse on that last play.
Cabral gives it over to Cooper, but he will happen to kick that one out of bounds. And they will be going over to the Eagles. As we're going to see now, number 28, Drew Phillips, checking into the game for number 10, Harry Cooper. It's going to be Rechsteiner who's going to kick this one away. Under 20 minutes now to play in this second half. Bowdoin off to a 1-0 lead. Morales gives it to Welch. Welch now looking to bring it up. Tries to cross it over, but will pull it back. As that one taken away there by Steinberg. That will go out of bounds, and a quick throw in for the Eagles. Welch takes it away. Huck now. Huck give it down over to Horch. The ball will come over to Shumway, and Rechsteiner will kick it out. Masamongo over to Shumway. Shumway sends it down. Tries to give it to Ryderson. As the ball will happen to go out of bounds, and it will be a throw in here for Bowdoin. Brown looking to find someone. Brown gets it in to Cabral. As that one's going to be a foul called on the Eagles. And Bowdoin's going to have a kick here that could be a dangerous situation here for the Eagles, as Bowdoin could possibly go up 2-0 if they're able to convert.
Yeah, this can be dangerous both for shooting opportunities and for these balls and over the top.
Bay finds its way over to, and that was Saleg, and will they reward that goal? And yes, they will reward that goal to Bowdoin, as Saleg happened to find the back of the net. I thought for a second, I thought they called offsides, but the call still stands, and Bowdoin now goes up 2-0. The goal will actually be rewarded to Manseo Bay.
Yeah, that was a very interesting one. I think the Eagles thought that he was offsides there, but just kind of trickled into the back of the net there. And
yeah, I think it was kind of weird, like you mentioned, because they kind of it looked like they kind of stopped there for a second, as they thought it was an offsides call, but the call still stands. And now Bowdoin is taking control here with a 2-0 lead.
well, that's something my coach always taught me, was to play to the whistle, and Husson didn't quite do that on that last play. That you can't always assume that the referee will see what you're seeing out there on the field. And I think it bit them there on that last play.
Right. Now with about 17 minutes left to play in the second half, if you're Husson here, you got to try and get a early goal score so it doesn't feel like you're having just to rush and try to almost take any shot you can on goal.
Yeah, Coach Penny hasn't made any changes to this formation quite yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go a little bit more offensive here over these last 16-ish minutes or so.
Welch gives it to Morales. Morales finds a way over to Heriderson. Heriderson tries to make a cross over to Bolton, but a nice save there by Weber coming out of the net.
Well, you see there for Heriderson, he didn't really have many options in the middle there. That he was making a nice run up that wing, but there was nobody home for those Eagles. And something that we've been seeing all day is that they've been getting that offensive pressure, but only with one player, and it's something I've never quite liked about the one striker formation, especially with those wings playing pretty far back out there.
Right, as now we see number 17, Kai DeGrand, checking into the game for the first time, giving number 35, Tyler Huck, a break. This ball comes in over to Horch. This ball go out of bounds, giving the ball back over to the Eagles here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if over these last 15 minutes, Coach Brzezinski makes a lot of substitutions to try to slow down this time a little bit and run out as much as they can.
Zarni Heriderson now will check out of the game, as it's going to be number 8, Christian Quiones, checking in for the Eagles. It's also number 29, Nate Chamberlain, checking in for Arias.
Yeah, you can see Heriderson was a little bit frustrated there coming off the field, as it's been a very smothering defense out there today, and he hasn't had a lot of help up top.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably definitely frustrating, especially, when you play so hard in the game, and then, a great goal there from Steinberg, kind of stops a little bit of that momentum, and that last goal they had kind of hurts them a little more too. So I'm sure it's definitely frustrating, but there's still lots of time left for the Eagles to still be able to do something here. But can't wait around. As there's going to be a shot there. That was from Phillips. And that will go out of bounds. And still remaining with Bowdoin. As Steinberg will walk it over. Looking to take some time off the clock here. That one goes out of bounds.
Yeah, soccer, unlike some other sports, is kind of built for wasting a little bit of clock time here at these end of these games. As the clock never stops other than on goals, so you can certainly get a lot of time taken off on these sort of slow, let it roll all the way out of bounds, give it back to somebody else to pass it type plays.
Right. As that one's going to be scooped up there by Weber. As Weber will kick it down the field. Gives a nice pass down to Horch. Fonte comes away with it. Cabral finding with Infante. And it looks like it'll be a foul called, and that'll go against Infante.
Yeah, Coach Penny's a little frustrated on the sideline as it's been a little bit one-sided here in the second half in terms of fouls called.
Yeah, both teams definitely have picked up a lot of fouls here. Husson with 13 fouls and Bowdoin with 12 fouls. But Bowdoin really the big reason here why they have this lead is right now they're currently leading the shots on goal 12-1. And Husson just has not really had the many chances to be able to convert offensively.
Yeah, formation like the one they're running really relies on the counterattack, and that's been being shut down quite well today by Bowdoin. As plays like that, they've just been shutting down these scoring opportunities for Husson to get the ball all the way up the field.
Rechsteiner will send it down to Weinstein, but they'll happen to go out of bounds there. As it looks like now it's going to be Steinberg with the throw-in over to Wintorena. Ball now finds its way over to Molina. Gives it over to Morales, but kicked out of bounds there by Horch. Weinstein gives it into Welch. Welch over to Infante. Infante over to Molina. Molina will send it down to Echeves. Chamberlain over to Shumway. Shumway back over to Chamberlain. Chamberlain to Echeves. To Bolton. Bolton sends it down to Weinstein. Over to Welch. Welch thought about taking a shot there, but decides to pull it back. He will give it over to Chamberlain. Chamberlain looking to make a move. Will cross it over. Quiones in there. Echever stays with it. And Quiones, and that will be kicked out of bounds as that looks like it went off Quiones. So now we're going to see another sub here is Damian Sheffer checking into the game checking out for Weinstein.
Yeah, that was a nice scoring opportunity there for the Eagles, as it looked like Welch was trying to get a little bit of space to take a shot there at the top of the 18 and just couldn't quite get it.
It's going to be Weber with the kick here. Sends it out to Cabral. Bolton takes it away. No whistle. Tries to give it down to Morales, and Weber will come out of the goal for that one and scoop it up. Welch will trip it here. We'll give it over to Phillips. Now we're going to see number 14, Hayden Weatherall, checking in. as Phillips happens to be hurt there. As he'll walk it off there. As the trainer going over to make sure if he's all right. It looked like he probably just might have turned an ankle there.
Yeah, looks like they're going to walk him all the way around the edge of the field, which is good. Not a lot of time left in this game, and you don't want to have...
As it's going to be Aguloye who's going to check into the game here for Phillips. And it's going to be Reed sending it down to Cabral. Cabral gives it over to Hooper. Excuse me, that was Cooper. Tries to give it over to Cabral, but it'll go out of bounds, and Eagles will maintain possession here. So we now see number 14, Hayden Weatherall, checking in for number 18, Julian Wantorena.
Yeah, Will Feldman just entered there for the Eagles. He's a player who hasn't seen a lot of playing time this season. But I wonder if Coach Penny's okay with a 2-0 loss here today. It's a non-conference match, obviously, and Husson has the division well in hand here in this season. And a game like this, while it hurts, it doesn't exactly mean much at the end of the season in terms of overall finishing.
Right, and, going into the game, obviously Hudson knew that this was going to be their biggest test of the game. Bowdoin, obviously a very talented team, nationally ranked in Division III right now, ranked 22nd. And, just from watching, Bowdoin play here, they have a lot of good players on this team with Bay and Cabral and their goalkeeper Weber and many other good players that they're going to be a really good team in their conference, and I'm sure they might possibly make some noise in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, and obviously they have a couple games coming up here in just a few days, and I think Coach Penny just doesn't want any of his starters to get hurt out there and keep them rested, and they played a good game out there despite the most likely losing effort here unless something drastic changes. But
yeah, like I mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, the Eagles are going to be going on the road here as they're going to be facing Northern Vermont Johnson coming up this Saturday on the 8th. That'll be a 1 o'clock game, and then they'll be facing SUNY Canton on the 9th. And then they'll once again be going back on the road on the 15th as they'll face Northern Vermont Linden. So definitely a few games on the road here. Eagles had a lot of home games as they started off the season, I believe, with their first 5-6 games of the year on the road.
yeah, they'll have a couple weeks on the road, and then they'll close out their season versus Maine Maritime here near the end of October.
So Eagles looking to make another run to try to host the NAC playoffs. Looking to try to make a run as well to win the NAC championship, as we're going to see number 7, Ben Brown, walk off the field here. He happens to have an injury, as number 35, Tyler Huck, will check into the game. 6:22 left to play here in this second half. Bowdoin hanging on to a 2-0 lead thanks to a goal by Carlton Steinberg coming in the 63rd minute of the game, and then Seo Bay coming with the second goal of the game in the 71st minute. It's looking like Bowdoin will come away with another win on the season. Infante tries to get it in. This ball will find its way over to Agunloye. And Now here's Welch. Welch tries to give it over to Quinones. Quinones has that one taken away by Bowdoin, and Bowdoin looking to make something happen. And it'll be a tripping call there from Infante, as Bay is looking to try to get it in quickly. Bay, look to see what's open here offensively. Bay, send it down the field. Tries to find Weatherall, but that'll be kicked out. And now here's Welch. Welch bringing it up here for the Eagles. Being guarded there by DeGrand. Still gets by him. Tries to cross it over, but will be kicked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in here for the Eagles. Welch will give it over to Chamberlain. We'll have this throw in. Gives it into Bolton. Bolton. Over to Echavez. And they're trying to get a hand call, but no whistle. Echavez sends it to Chamberlain. And Weatherall will kick it out. Shumway staying with it here. Gives it over to Bolton. Bolton was trying to find Chamberlain, but that was taken away by DeGrand. Infante. Cabral trying to get down here. Cooper trying to quickly rush over, but Rechsteiner will kick it out. 4:22 now left to play. Now we're going to see number 18, Noah Alexander, checking into the game for number 11, Ronaldo Cabral.
For number 11, Ronaldo Cabral.
As it's going to be Kai DeGrand with the throw-in. As it's Alexander bringing it down here, and ball will happen to go out of bounds.
You can see the referee has been stopping the clock on a lot of these substitutions here for Bowdoin as he tries to slow down a little bit of their game chewing or clock chewing tactics here late in this game.
So that is Seleg, gives it over down to Reed. He'll try to give it down over to DeGrand, and that'll be kicked out. Eagles still staying with it. Nice play there by Echavez. Ball happens to go out of bounds. Off of Alexander. Bolton. Bolton gives it over to Shumway. Shumway sends it down over to Sheffer. Molina gives it to Welch. So that one taken away by Weatherall, but Bolton takes it right back. Infante over to Shumway. Shumway to Echavez. Echavez tries to give it to Quinones, but will be kicked out there by Reed. As now it's Huck staying with it here. Bowdoin looking to try to add one more to it, but Rechsteiner will kick it away. Welch over to Feldman, excuse me. And it'll be Steinberg with the throw-in. It's 2:17 left to play in this second half. Steinberg will make the throw-in.
Yeah, these Eagles are still playing hard out there despite being down 2-0. That I think the last thing they want to do is give up another goal here tonight, but they're still playing with a lot of heart and a lot of effort out there.
All right, if you're Coach Penny, you definitely have to be pleased with, how hard all the players played today, and just ran into a very good opponent in Bowdoin, and Bowdoin was able to take control of the game thanks to that goal by Steinberg, and made things difficult after that for the Eagles. We're looking at the shot comparison. Bowdoin had 18 shots compared to Husson's 11, and then Bowdoin had 12 shots on goal compared to Husson's 2. It's really just been more of the story here, especially in the second half. Bowdoin has converted on their chances, and Husson's had a few of their looks, but you know, Bowdoin's defense has really made it difficult, and Weber's done a really good job in that here tonight.
Yeah, Bowdoin's done a really nice job of just controlling this ball, and we were talking about a little bit pregame that we don't see a lot of ranked teams at the Maine Division III NAC sort of area around here, that this is going to be one of the better teams to come through this Boucher Field in the next decade, probably. That these are two of the better teams out there, I think, right now.
Right, as Husson is looking to try to contend for a North Atlantic Conference title, and this was definitely a great test for them as they got ready for the playoffs here. As 10 seconds will wind down.
Yeah, they'll play a lot of NAC East opponents here over the next couple weeks, and most of the remaining games are against NAC opponents, as they're leading that division at a undefeated record right now, and we'll see if they can keep that up.
As the final whistle sounds, and it's Bowdoin College coming away with a 2-0 victory over Husson, as it was Carlton Steinberg and Minseo Bay scoring the 2 goals here for Bowdoin, as they will move to 7-1-1 overall, and Husson will fall to 7-3-2 overall. The Eagles' next game, once again, will be on the road this weekend, as they'll face Northern Vermont Johnson on the 8th, and then on the 9th against SUNY Canton. We want to take a moment to thank today's game sponsors: Performance PT, Designing Our Healthier You; Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and Bangor; Nothing Runs Like a Deer; Governor's Restaurant; and Casella, giving resources new life. Well, Avery, any final thoughts here from tonight?
I think it was a hard-fought loss here for Husson, and these Bowdoin players played really well out there tonight, and they deserved the win.
Yes, definitely was a great game to watch. It was a very entertaining first half, and then Bowdoin happened to pull away in that second half. But a great game regardless. Well, that is how we're going to end things here tonight at Boucher Field. One last time, it's Bowdoin coming away with a 2-0 victory. I'm Isaac Potter alongside Avery Henningsen. You have a great rest of your evening.